Good evening, class. My name is Edward Florian, and this is Sociology 323, Marriage and the Family. This presentation would be on parenting and children. To begin, we're going to cover a few areas here. The first one is to parent or not to parent, different challenges or things to consider before we enter parenthood. Second would be different trends in parenting in the United States. Third, the advantages of parenting. And fourth, challenges of parenting. First, before we become a parent, there's some things that we need to consider. Um, One would be the cost of parenthood. In our textbook, the United States Department of Agriculture estimated in 2013 a total of $245,000 is needed to raise a child. This amount does not include any additional expenses such as higher education. Some examples of the everyday financial expenses for raising children are housing, transportation, childcare, education, food, clothing, and healthcare. Some of these things must be considered before we enter the thought of parenthood. For some parents, financial burden would be one of the causes to hold parents back. Another would be different career choices. For each party, they may want to put their career on hold or maybe not. They don't want to lose out on the different opportunities out there while raising a child. And lastly, personal interest opportunities of parents become limited as they enter parenthood. Some households have to put these things into consideration before they enter parenthood. For women, their career advancements may suffer from having to change or end their career to stay at home and raise children. Not just women are affected by this, but men as well. Sometimes the men become stay-at-home dads, and they decide to raise children and leave their career, depending on the different financial situations that each home has. This is something that most homes should consider before they take on the new responsibility as a parent. Next, there's some other things to consider would be marital strain, marital dissatisfaction, conflict within marital and parental roles. There's a source within a textbook, and it says children have the paradoxical effect of increasing the stability of the marriage while decreasing its quality. Those are some tough words to read, but for some homes, it is true. Even when bringing a child within the family, yes, the relationship between partner and child may have an increased bond, but the relationship between husband and wife may decrease, one by the time needed to raise a child and the attention that is needed as well. Others may be picking up more hours at work in order to provide financially for the home, in order for having the financial means to raise the children. Emotional strain within both parties may occur with the new lifestyle. Um, Research done among married spouses have shown that there are a decrease in marital satisfaction as they enter into parenthood. Conflict within the home as to what the parental and marital roles are in the household lead to the feelings of anger, depression, and even anger with partners. Transitioning into parenthood is not an easy one and may leave parents with a loss of their own identity and individualism. This factor is what leads certain couples to decide not to enter parenthood. Now, in the 21st century, this is more common within the millennial generation. We tend to focus on our career and wanting to travel and do other things prior to even entering into a marriage relationship, let alone having to raise a child. So these things are considered before we enter parenthood. Next, parenting trends in the US. We have two different, or there are actually multiple ways of viewing this. First, we have early parenthood versus later parenthood. Some of the different parenting styles, these are some of the different parenting styles in the US today. First, the earlier stage have an advantage over those mothers who push off motherhood until their mature age. Some examples of this would be women who are younger have a better chance of having a healthier pregnancy and are able to pursue other future goals at a faster rate after they have finished raising their children. But younger parents have to work twice as hard and miss out on certain experiences, careers, and financial opportunities that may set them back during their season of parenthood. For those that enter parenthood at a later age, their careers have been established. They may be more financially stable than as opposed to earlier parenthood parties, and also they are more secure in order to support and to raise a child. Some disadvantages for the later parenthood is that later on, as mothers get older, they have a limited time of achieving fertilization or conceiving. There are some risk factors such as premature deliveries, health problems, and possible learning disabilities over their children. But overall, these methods of parenting have their moments of complete satisfaction as they lead in nurturing their children. Some other trends would be the most common would be single mothers. Uh, there has been a rise of women making the decision to become single mothers. In fact, 44% of all births occur within the unmarried group of women. Some of these mothers are successful and are both financially and emotionally stable in making on the responsibility to take care of someone other than themselves. Others, however, did not have a choice but rather become mothers through unwanted or unplanned pregnancies. Their decision in becoming single mothers can be attributed to the lack of support that they receive from prospective partners, which may or may not have kept their end of the bargain. Another trend would be for same sex partners. Their journey in parenting is not that different from those between male and female partners. They experience the same joys of watching their child grow as they too learn how to become a parent for the first time. These trends are pretty common now within the 21st century. Next. There's some advantages to parenting. First, becoming a parent is also enjoying the life of a child from conception to old age. There's a sense of pride that parents feel when their children grow up and be successful in life. There's some other advantages that include closer family relationships and help parents become more vulnerable and open to new experiences that people who otherwise are not parents miss out on. Another advantage is leaving a family legacy into your children. It's awesome seeing parents passing on experiences or life goals or, you know, different legacies onto their children and to their children and to their children. So these are some advantages that we can see for parenting now. Another is adoption. Um, for some families that are not able to conceive a child, adoption is one of the best ways that parents or willing parents can experience this new way of life in raising a child. Now, some challenges of parenting. As we discussed before within the second slide, the one of the challenges is cost of living, especially within the younger generation that are parents. they may not have their career set, they may not have a stable job or enough income to supplement the needs of the mother and the child as well for the whole household. Some other challenges are receiving health care if both parties do not have proper health insurance. It is very difficult to provide care for your children. Some other challenges of parenting is if you have a lot of children. Those are a lot of mouths to feed, and for some people, it's very challenging to find work out there in these times if they are cutting it too thin. These challenges of parenting are something that we all must consider before we enter parenthood. I have included a list of our sources here, so thank you for watching and have a good evening.